Now, before we begin today's video, folks, it is sponsored by, well, me, because I don't have any sponsors at the moment. But if you're in the film industry, if you work at a Cineworld, because Cineworld does follow me, by the way, online on Twitter X, which is hilarious, by the way. But I want a British version of CinemaCon, like they have in Las Vegas. That took place this week, which was incredible, in Caesar's Palace, Las Vegas. In Vegas, by the way, one of the greatest places I've ever been to. It's amazing. But CinemaCon took place there this week, and apparently the actual winners were Paramount Pictures, but I'll get back to them at the end of this video. But Superman. It was called Superman Legacy, James Gunn. This film is going to make or break him in DC. A lot of people are riding on this to be an absolute success. I want this to be a success as well, actually. I really do. Before I actually get into the breakdown of this sneak peek trailer, one thing I want to remind you folks, if you do enjoy my content, make sure you give it a like, make sure you smash that subscribe button, and tomorrow night at 10 p.m. London GMT, I will be a guest on Mr. Brown's Alliance podcast, which will be absolutely funny, and I can't wait to be an absolute guest on there. And I think, folks, I'm just about to break wind. Here we go. Oh, and one day I'm going to break a really loud fart in this room, and it'll probably stink the whole room out, and I'll have to probably call 999. But without further ado, folks, let's get into this video today. And I'm going to go over some of the casting choices as well, and what else I've actually heard regarding this movie. So without further ado, folks.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane.
Yep, it's definitely a bird. And yes, folks, I always say this in my video reactions where Warner Brothers are concerned, and which is why Disney, for me, are the best when it comes to content creation reactions, because Disney understands there has to be a relationship between me, them, other influencers out there like Matt Ramos, who calls himself Soups. Because they know they want that interaction. And you know what? I'm looking forward to this year, actually, because I'm going to be hitting the cinema more often than I ought to, which is great. So lots of great films on the horizon. But without further ado, folks, this is 4 minutes and 50 seconds. And this is what they actually showed to people at CinemaCon at the Warner Brothers presentation, which apparently, like when James Gunn and the other cast members appeared, it was they kind of rambled on far too long than they had to, instead of getting on with the actual presentation. So here we go, folks. And this, by the way, is Svalbard in Norway. And this is supposed to be the beginning of the movie as well. I don't mind the costume. I really don't. I get it's a throwback to Christopher Reeve and how his outfit looked. So yeah, there isn't going to be any digitizing at all. And by the way, I am told this is the beginning of the movie, which makes sense. Here, Fido. That was the line from The Mask with Jim Carrey. Don't know why that came to me. So here's Crypto the Super Dog, based on James Gunn's real life dog called Ozu.
Stop!
So I get this bit. Yeah, the dog has been playful, doesn't realize his master's in trouble.
Crypto, take me home. Home.
So I don't know about you lot, ladies and gentlemen, but tell me why you think Soups is actually so badly injured at this stage. Is it the kaiju fight, which I don't think it would be? Is it Lex Luthor discovering? Because, by the way, the next part after this, I've got something to say about that. But yeah, what are your theories? Why do you think Supes is in this predicament at the moment? That it's so bad he's got to whistle out to Crypto to come to help him out, like the Red Cross.
Crypto. Home.
I actually like this music score as well. It's really, really good. And this sound design is awesome. These special effects are great. See, this part to me looks like it's a mixture of CGI and actual practical effects. Like this doorway right here, I think that's real, but it's made to look obviously much, much more huger. So this is the part I was referring to, like, quite clearly, right? Lex Luthor must have his own satellites in space. Lex Luthor is like Elon Musk before Elon Musk, so he must have his own satellite system in space. So surely his satellites will know that this is where Supes lives or where he goes to. So I'm only guessing, right? But, you know, they probably will touch on that in the movie.
Superman!
The automatons! And I really do like this shot right here. It kind of reminds me of Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 2 when he's in the Christ-like pose in that New York City moment where he stops the train from crashing over. It just kind of reminds me of that a little bit, and I really do like that. It's such an evocative image. I do. It's cool. Corin Sweat is really buffed up as he looks awesome.
Thank you.
No need to thank us, sir, as we will not appreciate it. We have no consciousness whatsoever. Merely automatons here to serve.
The great Alan Tudyk, ladies and gentlemen.
Meet 12. She's new.
He looked at me.
Okay, so apparently the female here, her voice is a mystery. People can't work out who she is. I'm going to say might be Zoe Saldana, maybe somebody from, well, that's Joss Whedon. I was thinking of Firefly for a minute. It might be James Gunn's own wife, Jennifer Holland. Could be her. But it's a mystery, isn't it? And like Toya said, it's a mystery. Oh, it's a mystery. So, yeah, I wonder if they'll reveal who that is.
14 fractured bones.
Damage to bladder, kidney, large intestine, lungs.
So that's what I mean.
With a
What
healthy
caused all
dose
this
of yellow
damage?
sun, we'll have you up
Probably
and at 'em in no
kryptonite. Probably kryptonite, I think. Maybe Lex Luthor unleashed a kryptonite-based weapon on him.
Saharan Prime, please, one.
Now, this part here is from All-Star Superman, because I remember reading that a long, long time ago, and I probably should perhaps actually reread it before this film comes out, because James Gunn has actually said he's based a lot of this screenplay, this movie, on that particular comic book. And in this same sequence here, in the comic books, he gets dosed up with too much sun that he actually gets poisoned. So I don't know if they're actually going to address that in this scene here. They might not. They might just skip over that, might glaze over it. But let's carry on. Love this scene so much. Awesome.
He's back.
So this kaiju scene, apparently this is not even finished yet. So hopefully the final version looks a lot better. And there you can see Superman right there. Just a tiny dot where I'm pointing. You can see that dot. And people are speculating that Lex Luthor has stolen the young of the kaiju. The kaiju wants it back. But obviously it's meant to be a threat on the city. I mean, again, Metropolis looks very empty below. I don't know why a city, even on a weekend, will be empty. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm sure that's something they have already addressed and they're going to fill in the blanks, so to speak. I love this scene. I really do, because this is Taylor Pruitt Vince. You've seen him in many things, especially in the Walking Dead season 2, where John Bernthal throws into the zombies at the end. But James Gunn lost his own father not too long ago, so that's why you don't see Martha Kent in this moment here. Normally it's her that takes the place of Jonathan Kent.
You're letting him kill Martha.
But he's the widower now and looking after the Kent farm. So it kind of makes sense. You've got this more father and son bond, which I truly appreciate. Yeah, just a bit of a wild one here, guys. I have to kind of pause here because this is one of my crazy thoughts. Do you know what they should have done? So, you know, Thor, his alter ego is Dr. Donald Blake in the Marvel comics. So he's a weedy looking doctor by day, but then when he's called to action as Thor, he smashes his cane down and then he becomes the Mjolnir hammer and he becomes the god of thunder, right? When I see this moment here, I think it would have been great to have cast Richard Ayoade from the IT crowd as Clark Kent.
I came here to drink milk and kick ass. And I've just finished my milk.
And then when he needs to be Superman, because then when it comes to hiding his identity, it actually makes more sense. I know that's how Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel did not envisage that, but I think from a modern, not for a modern audience, from a modern twisty point of view, because again, Superman is an alien, right? So just have Richard Ayoade in this getup would be, and then he turns into Corin Sweat afterwards as Superman, would have been. That's just a wild idea from me, folks. I haven't heard it from nobody. I'm saying that here on my channel, and I just thought, yeah, that's just way out there. It's wild, but man. Well, they say look up, but can I just look down at this moment in time, please? And by the way, Rachel Brosnahan right here in the center is Lois Lane. I'm gonna come back to her in a second.
Superman.
Oh, Mr. Terrific. I think that's the Ultraman fight. And again, now I understand why he's got the close bond with the automaton right here. That might be the female. That might be number 12. It could be her. So that's a really sad moment. I think this is probably a stage in the film where maybe Lex Luthor has discovered the Fortress of Solitude, right? Goes in there and does absolute damage. So the automatons obviously cannot defend themselves. And yeah, so it's a really heartfelt scene, actually. Nathan Fillion, I do like, you know, I actually like this shot here as well. I really do like this shot. It's really, I think that's meant to be eventually the Halls of Justice, or the Hall of Justice, right? As in the comic books. Then he's accompanied by Mr. Terrific again. But that scene there where Supes, it's like it's really cool. So really, obviously, Guy Gardner's just put out his green force field to keep people at bay, so you can talk to Superman alone. Good. Oh, you know what? It feels good to do reaction videos like this again. This was my bread and butter 6 years ago on YouTube, and I'm glad to be doing it again. I haven't abandoned video games by any stretch of the imagination. I won't do that, but it's it's great to react to things that I am genuinely looking forward to watching at the cinema this year. I don't think I'm going to take out a full subscription yet to Cineworld because when it comes to movies, I think Paramount Pictures definitely know what they're doing. All I've got to do is to log on to Amazon, right? And you got the Paramount Plus streaming service as part of Amazon, and you can watch Mobland with Tom Hardy, Helen Mirren and Pierce Brosnan, Guy Ritchie's new gangland thriller, which looks amazing. I haven't watched it yet, by the way. But then again, you know, you've got all these, like at CinemaCon this week, like Paramount apparently were the absolute winners. They have got The Running Man by Edgar Wright, a new adaptation, not a remake of the 87 film with Schwarzenegger coming out, starring Glenn Powell. So I'm looking forward to reacting to that trailer as well. I can't wait. From all accounts, from what I've seen other content creators say, like the trailer they saw at CinemaCon was amazing. Like, it's very action-packed. And I know Tom Cruise gave a moving speech to Val Kilmer and gave Christopher McQuarrie, his BFF and director of the last few Mission Impossible movies, a special award, which was also good. So Paramount, the reason why I bring them up, it seems they're hell-bent focused on making good entertainment, no crappy ideology, even though you could say that the Halo series definitely was embedded with that nonsense. So they're kind of going full steam ahead, which is great. But I think with the Superman movie as well, why it's been plagued with a lot of I'm not sure if I like this, if it's going to be a great film, because the marketing has been terrible. But from what I've seen from people like Film Threat have actually said, is that they're going to be amping up the marketing campaign in the vein of Barbie, which is an interesting comparison. So we had Barbieheimer 2 years ago, didn't we? When they were fusing it with Oppenheimer, and Barbie turned out to be the clear winner in terms of what the audience liked, even though Barbie wasn't the greatest film on earth. Ryan Gosling was the best thing in that movie, actually. He definitely was. Again, while Margot Robbie looked hot, that's what she's good at doing. She's good at looking hot, basically. But you know what? I cannot wait to see this in the theaters. I think it's going to be, I'm going to bank on the fact that it's going to be a very good film. It might not be a perfect movie, but I'm crossing my fingers for James Gunn that he's going to do an absolutely bang-up job. I'm watching Guardians of the Galaxy 3 today at home because I haven't seen it at all. And I should have gone and watched it at the cinema because people told me it was actually a very good film. Some people don't like it that much, but other folks like the slightly dour nature of the movie, which I do appreciate. But filmed in IMAX on the, I think it's the red digital IMAX camera they call it. So the entire film, from what I know, or maybe the key sequences, are all done with the IMAX. So obviously why you watch it in the IMAX theater, because it's not widescreen, it's going to fill the whole screen up completely. So the flying sequences should look amazing. I know with the Super Bowl this year, they had a 30-second ad for it, and apparently it didn't go down very well with people. So there was a special screening, like it's an unfinished version of the film, and again, this was courtesy of Chris Gore at Film Threat, where 60 people were in an audience. It might have been in LA, perhaps, and they didn't know what they were going to watch. And at the end of the movie, somebody stood up in the audience and went, "The Fantastic Four is going to be effed." Obviously, that's coming out from Marvel this year as well. But Peter Safran and James Gunn were in the audience watching this secret screening, and the film apparently clocks in at 1 hour and 55 minutes. Now, Rachel Brosnahan, who plays Lois Lane, was also at CinemaCon, right? And she turned up in what I can only describe as a state of undress. And believe you and me, when I saw how she was undressed, holy shit.
And he'll never quite be one of them. So I found a little piece of that early on.
So James, how did the shoulders turn out?
I can't wait to see this film, and she looked absolutely incredible. So that's the thing, you see, folks. You'll get the dour version of an actress on the screen, but off screen she wants to look hot as F, and Rachel Brosnahan clearly is that. But my favorite Lois Lane will always be Erica Durance from the Smallville TV series. of which I am going to be soaring my way through before the release date of this movie. So I've got to get on the case and carry on with season 1 all the way through. Now, the great thing about Smallville is that I can skip some of the really terrible episodes, the filler episodes, which I don't like, and then I can just saunter on to the really good stuff. But what did you think, folks? Are you not excited for Superman from James Gunn? I know some of you are going to be, some of you will be thinking, Kung Fu, why are you making this video? Because I'm a pop culture nerd. I care about things like this. I care about legacy entertainment. I don't want it to be infested with so many terrible ideas and ideologies that it becomes unbearable to watch. Okay, and that's the thing. And also, guys, you know, I can't be the man in the chair who hates every single thing that is thrown his way. I can obviously recognize things with the red flags straight away. Of course I can. But at the same time, there are other good things out there, and I don't want to leave them on the sideline. But one thing I won't do, folks, is to leave you on the sidelines. And if you enjoyed this video today, make sure you give it a like, make sure you smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you catching me for the return of the next video.